welcome to a Big Dumb Monsters very special. I think we called it something weird, like a very special or something like that. I don't know. It is not your typical Big Dumb Monsters episode. This actually is a callback to my pre-Big Dumb Monsters life. This was the podcast crew from my Evil Geeks days. I called it the Evil Geeks Brain Trust. Back a couple months ago, we lost one of the members of that group, unfortunately. So we gathered the crew together one more time to honor that person who's no longer with us. I should probably say his name. Why am I stepping around his name? It's J.C. Glindmyer, who's again part of the old crew. Someone we miss dearly. But yeah, we got together. We talked about him. We reminisced about the good times. We welcomed a new member into the Brain Trust. So going forward, you might hear from us a little bit more. I hope you enjoy this very special.
Oh, good. Just announced 2 more top secret Rob Liefeld projects.
I don't know how that man still gets work.
From where?
Yeah.
What company?
Marvel.
Hi.
We need Wolverine to be so big. Pouch man. We need more
Pouches everywhere.
Small feet.
Oh God.
Small feet or foot?
Grab a couple of those while you're over there. Just bring them to the table. There's Donner. Wouldn't be a podcast without you, buddy. Yeah, I don't understand how that man gets work.
Consistent.
Yeah. How is there like I don't believe that there's this fan demand for Rob Liefeld work. I just don't.
As the president of the Rob Liefeld fan club, I take offense to that.
To this day, I am pretty sure he got wind of our Evil Geeks Rob Liefeld week stuff. Because I remember I was at Comic-Con one year and I was at his table and I had something. I'm like, I might as well fucking get it signed. And he was signing somebody's book. He looks up at me. What is this? That Major X fucking character? I don't get it. But yeah, I got the dirtiest fucking look when he saw I was wearing my Evil Geek shirt. The dirtiest look. I'm like, yep, pretty sure he read that stuff. Yeah.
Whoops.
Did he try to bench press you? Or did he do his Matt Damon impersonation, which was those first few years at Image, every time I saw him, I was like, and then I saw Good Will Hunting, I'm like, holy shit.
Now you also have Jesse Plemons, who's inflated Matt Damon. They look almost identical, but he's just pudgy.
He's beasting Matt Damon.
Yeah.
He tried to clear the nest out.
Chronic
He just got fucking wrecked by stings.
You were attacked by good
Good
sons.
Got hit with a bunch of stingers.
If I lose my dog.
Oh man.
I don't think we're here to talk about Rob Liefeld and his many crimes against the comic industry.
The man is a criminal. Straight up criminal.
We have time.
Yeah. No, we have gathered to honor someone who was not here with us today. If you are familiar with any of my older stuff before Big Dumb Monsters, I co-hosted a show called Transmissions from the Evil Lair. We were all about comics and pop culture. And every now and again, we would assemble what I called the Evil Geeks Brain Trust, our comic book brain trust. And we always generally tended to meet at what we called the best damn comic shop in Albany. It still is the best damn comic shop in Albany. And
Suck it, Newberry.
yeah, Newberry Comics can go right to hell.
Where's
your hot topic with records.
Where's your comics? Where do you keep the comics?
Yeah.
That shelf there in the corner.
You're behind the Funko, but shut up.
Yeah. I'm sure they're very hurt. They're very hurt as they're busy opening up another franchise store. But no. A couple months ago, it's hard for me to not constantly joke, especially when it's time to be like serious about something for a little while.
No, you're good because I do the same thing.
Yeah. So I will revert back to jokes. Be forewarned. But yeah, we lost a member of our brain trust crew, J.C. Glindmyer, who was on numerous podcasts with us. Was personally responsible for my comic book habit, at least from my early 20s up until the current day. A man who was just known throughout Albany. If you were a nerdily, geekily inclined person in Albany, you made your way through Earthworld at one point, and hopefully still are making your way through Earthworld. But yeah, we gathered, through the brain trust signal up into the sky one last time. Well, not one last time. Let's not put a limit on things. Yeah, we're here about the future. This is about moving onward and embracing a new tomorrow.
Well, and also there's a writer's strike, and people are going to need content.
Yeah.
So
it's us or nothing, folks.
This might be some dumb fucking luck that we're sitting on here.
Just hanging out at the comic shop.
Yeah. It is weird not to be able to do this in the comic shop, but my setup is not mobile at this point.
Yeah, no, it would be. That's why I was like, I'm sure it'll be a nightmare. You're welcome to, but I'm sure it'll be a nightmare. And seeing it, it would be a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could not guarantee sound quality. So yeah, we're gonna do it here at the Big Dumb Monster Studio. Yeah, no, he was our guy. Whenever there was a serious like comic issue to talk, that's when we assembled the Brain Trust. I'm trying to think of some of the topics we talked about. I know one of them was like we debated digital comics versus like physical media, like which one was better.
We had our Skype one during lockdown.
We did. What did we talk about on that one?
There
Probably
being
just
no
being
comics.
in lockdown. Yeah.
We didn't know whether or not the world was going to end.
Yeah.
I think that was...
And they weren't shipping comics.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, people are dying. But wait a minute, no comics. Time out. Yeah.
About important stuff.
Yeah, and
Just
I
the
think
books.
this might have been before pandemic. I'm pretty sure it was when we met here one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
was pre
2019 November.
Was it no?
Yes.
So it was during the pandemic.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
2020 was the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, my brain is mushed for multiple reasons, but
I only rember for
pandemic reasons also. Yeah.
It's long COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, long COVID. Really long.
And we thought it was appropriate, to gather the crew, and to welcome. I'm not going to say the replacement because you're not. There is no replacing. There is no replacing your dad. Nick, introduce yourself, my friend.
Hey, it's Nick.
Speak into that microphone. Yeah.
Sorry, hey, hey,
yourself.
it's Nick, the new owner of and son of JC of Earthworld Comics.
Yeah. So you've inherited the role. It's been passed on.
Yeah.
So you have to study up because whenever we have a serious question from now on,
Yeah,
we're
well,
going to.
It's not really. I can't really get away from it.
We expect numbers.
Yeah. I can't really get away from it. So as much as I'd like to, sometimes I can't really get away from all of the weird goings on of like the dumb speculative market and all that weekly goings on is
Like
maddening.
we've
Like,
used,
it's like you throw your hands up at some of the recent books that are like triple the value for
for no reason.
none. Like for like dumb stuff. Like
Throw some names out there. Throw some shade. Come on. Svengoolie.
People are selling it. Like people were trying to come in and get multiple copies just because
Just because
it was selling online for $25.
Are we talking
Or
about
15.
the fridging of Miss Marvel?
When does this come out?
It was an
it'll
Amazing
be-
Spider-Man
Yeah.
26. It's out because they're already bringing.
No,
it back.
this recording probably like a week and a half maybe. I'll release it as like a midweek special or something.
I don't know what's out, but yeah, there's stuff on the order forms for like new, already dumb, bringing back because like it wasn't transparent enough. Like, oh, she's dying,
Yeah.
and then the movie's coming out in
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
Again.
Like, oh, I wonder if she'll be back. And then like we get our order forms, and it's you look at your Marvel line, and it says classified number 1. And you're like, I wonder what it is. And then the order time comes around, and it's like, oh, okay, what we all thought.
It's real smooth.
House of Ideas.
Turn that towards you just a little bit. There you go. That's perfect. I was gonna say, what has been like the craziest just like thing you did not expect, like coming into this role as like taking on the store, just like even from customers to even like a business thing, just like fuck, that's weird. I did not expect that.
I mean, easily the colorful Albany characters, but
because I will say Earthworld is centrally located right on Central Avenue
on a very, very busy bus line.
Yeah,
we see everybody. But no, I found a local guy we call Rickety, and actually found we'll give him his our cans and stuff that we accumulate during the week. I'll give him the bag, and he'll it came in one day after giving him the bag, and he was like, I cleaned your alley, and like picked up all the cigarette butts that were in the alley, and people were just dumping like full, like it must have been like the can in their car, like in the alley, like full ones, and he was like, I got them all, and, like was coming in for bags to pick up stuff. So I'm
I
like,
forget which comedian this was. Fucking, it was like maybe somebody from the '90s, but they were saying like, how do like. I think it's David Cross actually. Like, why are there condoms in the street? Is there somebody like sitting around going, "Oh fuck, it's Tuesday"? Like, just
if you cleaned out the alley once, the amount of things like there are condom wrappers next to Suboxone wrappers next to like broken Heineken bottles.
Now that's a party. I just want to.
And I don't
That sounds like
it's
a
like
really
somebody had a
good
party.
idea.
like I
I see nothing wrong with that.
I can't wait to put cameras in the alley. It'll just be
kind of for security, mostly for
sure,
entertainment.
yeah, like 90% entertainment, but under the guise of
when he
security.
turns it into a reality show, we'll know something is up.
No, we can voice over the the characters, right? So there's no sound.
Yeah, it'll be like MXC.
Oh, wait till we put up obstacles in the alley. It's just gonna be a bunch of muscle
they're
heads like going over
they're
obstacles.
they're kind of are with the amount of potholes and broken bottles currently.
Because there's the gym next door, so there's
the
a constant stream of like meatheads moving through.
I know, and the worst thing is like, what are we gonna do? Like the nerds from the comic shop are gonna be like, get out of our alley. I'm just like, hey guys.
Excuse me.
If I couldn't get that new big air conditioner in, I was gonna have to go next door and be like, "Can you help the weak nerds?"
Ironically, you're surrounded by comic books and comic book characters, but next door there's infinitely more spandex. In real
Oh
life.
yeah,
Like this,
yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah, it's. I guess it's
like,
a
it's
choice of
strange,
like, how
right?
do you
Yeah.
like your spandex, like
Yeah.
on superheroes or
Yeah,
on, like,
or
kids,
on
like,
bros.
working out,
Hey, you guys want to go to the alley and bench press each other? Yeah, all right.
Got a couple Heinekens.
Yeah.
just juiced up Albany cops. Sorry, I've never seen Albany cops go there. Can I smoke this out?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're fine. Boy, what else? Let's talk about your dad in the store. He ran it for just about 40 years.
He had it for. The store's been open for 40. He owned it for like 37.
Okay,
I
so
think.
somebody had it
So
before
like
him.
yeah, it was like the 80s. So he was like mismanaging his money and doing all sorts of crazy shit. And then like dad ended up just
This is not the 80s I know.
yeah.
Yeah, you're kidding me.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of weird, frivolous purchasing and people sniffling a lot. It was
Yeah, I was
weird.
just saying, I'm picturing somebody like owning the comic book store, like
There's a lot
walking
of,
in, like with like a Miami Vice suit on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, like
Just
sleeves pushed up.
doing lines off of Jim Steranko comic.
No, there was a lot of weird, like,
You want silver?
you bought a bat suit? I mean, I would too, but okay. But no, it was like stupid shit like that. But he got, dad saw the bills were behind and they were coming for him, and dad just wrote a letter and a check for, it didn't cover the whole thing. It covered a portion of of it, and they just let it slide, and like he just said, I'm taking over. They're, the guy was fucking up, and and they just let it go, and he that was kind of it. He just took over from there and chipped away at that over time, while still ordering new shit every week. I don't know how he. In that.
It was the 90s, 80s. There was, chromium. Well.
A lot of chromium covers. Like, yeah.
And if I can't sell them, I'll just recycle them. Probably get more.
Oh, man. Well, I will talk about, I'm trying to think of how I, first got to the store. We'll each go through and, talk about how we kind of first found it. My comic interest is always waning and waxing. There are times where I just I cannot read enough comics, and there are times when I just can't give a shit about anything. And I think the 90s, if you were a 90s comics reader, there's a lot of reasons to get out of comics in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I had when I first started reading comics, I was buying comics from Canterbury Tales. Which is, if you're that's elder nerd stuff right there. That was it was in Central Avenue and Colony. They closed in the mid 90s.
Yep.
After that, I was going to Imagination for a while, which became Zombie Planet.
Yep.
And then I just stopped reading for a while, and then I don't know. I think it was Ultimate X-Men is what pulled me back into comics. Okay, I need to read this, and that, and Ultimate Spider-Man too.
Ultimate Spider-Man was my big hook.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and then I started with Amazing, and then it was like, oh shit.
Yeah. I think at the time I lived 2 or 3 blocks away from the store, and I'm well, I'm got a place where I can go get these now, and I've been that's where I've been buying ever since. It's 20 shit. That was when did those come out? 2001, 2002. Yeah. Damn.
Time hits
so
hard.
old. Yeah.
Time hits real hard. They have you been in on a Saturday at the shop? At Andy?
I probably, if I saw him, probably, yeah.
Younger guy. Didn't realize how young. He's 21. But my wife came in with my son, and he was getting along really well with my son because the kid is also he's also a teacher. He just graduated, so he's 21, I think.
Okay.
But he was they were getting along so well, and my wife's laughing, and I'm like, whoa, what's so funny? She's like, Jack, our son, is closer to Andy's age than you are to Andy's age.
Oh wait, I have a button for this. Hold on. Wait.
It really it couldn't have felt more like that. It ruined not only my day, my fucking week. It was oh, this kid is so young. And then he told me yesterday that his parents named him after Andy from Toy Story.
Oh.
I'm like, what?
It hurts.
Yeah.
It actually hurts.
So old. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, it's I have a decent number of old friends who are posting pictures of their kids graduating college. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I look at my age and my son's age. He's 9, right? Figure I'm 47, so yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the same track. I'm 45. My son is turning 7 in September. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did Peter? How did you first come about Earthworld?
Well, I was living in the Poughkeepsie area predominantly, and I read comics until 1989, and then I stopped completely. I didn't read anything until 2001, early 2001, because I had a friend of mine who went to the shop every Wednesday for new comics, and we got to talking about comics, and I said, you know what, I think I'd be, so he and I would cruise Earthworld on Wednesday, pick up new books, and then we'd go next door for burgers and coffee. And so I did that for a couple years.
Oh yeah, the diner, yeah.
And then I ended up when I became a diabetic, for whatever reason, I stopped reading again in 2004.
because fun's over. No more
Fun's
burgers.
over, right?
No more burgers.
So fast forward, I took the long train to graduate school, and it took me forever to finish my PhD. And in 2012, I finished my PhD. And I walked into the shop because I decided now that I didn't have to write this fucking thing anymore, I wanted to read comics again. And JC recommended a bunch of titles. One of them being, he's like, "Oh, you'll probably really like this." He goes, "You get the trade next week. Number 7 comes out. It's Saga."
Perfect.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant, right? Of course, to this day, I'm thinking to myself, had I just be like, "What do you got for back issues?" Getting a time machine. But yeah, and then that got me totally into it. And then I've been going to the shop ever since. So. And then we've done podcasts. Your wedding, we did.
Yeah. I should mention
Right?
that. Yeah, JC married Amanda and I. He was the officiant at the wedding. I remember people kept calling him father. Like
That was so much fun.
I'm sure you
Just like people thought I wrote that Victor Hugo poem. I was like, no, it's not, I didn't do that.
No, I remember he was like super late to the rehearsal, and we were all just waiting around, like just waiting for the officiant.
I'm sure he didn't take time off from work. He was like, "All right."
Oh, he came right from the store.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, "Well, I could make it. I'll close the shop and be right there." Like, not accounting for traffic or anything. And be
I'll
like,
close at 5:40. I could be there in Scotia at 5:45. It's easy, yeah. Oh yeah. No, he had a great time at that. Well, a lot of people had a great time at that wedding. Not to pat myself on the back, but that was a fun party.
he was a fun wedding guy.
Yeah.
He was a good he would show up deep to the wedding with that just like that full case.
Yeah.
Full case of joints, and anytime we were at the same wedding, he would pull all of my friends from that wedding and be like, "Oh, you guys want to go outside? You guys want to go outside and smoke?" And and get all my friends stoned and
Yeah. There was a barrier cloud around all of the entrances to my wedding.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I sat with your dad and Laura at that wedding also. So we had the night at the table.
How about yourself, Chad? How did you come across Earthworld?
Picture this: the year's 2005. A young and fresh-faced guy is trying to find a job, and he's interviewing with the state of New York, and so he had to drive all the way from West Virginia. So he has a hotel for the night, and so the first thing he does is, back then they still had these things called phone books. And so I was like, okay, I got some time to kill.
Grimoire.
Comic shops. Okay, and it was right. I was staying on Wolf Road. It was right down close by, so I was like, I can do that. So, and then when I started writing the blog for the Albany Times Union, the comics blog, then I kind of started getting in touch with, because the way I wanted to also focus on not only comics and as a whole, as what people see, but also the local kind of flavor and the local owners, and help promote them. And so I can't I mean, one of the first things sales I remember in the store, where it was the week-long event. The first day it was a couple dollars off, but by the end of the week it was still there.
It was I think it was 10, and then it was 15, and then 20, and then I remember the end of the week, people coming in is it still there? Okay. Wait another day. Wait another day. And then coming in the next day, whatever they wanted was gone. And I'm like, oh, well, you shouldn't have waited.
I lucked out because I kept. I was one who's come in, look at, but it's a great series. I don't know why it was still there. It was the full run of Gotham City, the one that Greg Rucker wrote.
GCPD?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Gotham Central.
Central. Yeah.
So I
it
got
was
the
a
full
police
run of
theater.
Gotham Central at dirt cheap. Felt bad.
No, that's the fun thing is I'm trying to, because he would always have those big blowout trade paperback and sales, and I'm I can't wait to get into I'm sure it's a cyclical order thing that comes out at a certain time, but I can't wait to get that and just blow out weird books for cheap, just fun.
Yeah.
Order weird fun stuff thinking it'll go,
and then I somehow weaseled my way into this show.
Yeah, well, it was because of JC actually.
Yeah, I think
It was might have been the first time we did the live comic book day podcast.
I think it was because he was always, when I would go around on free comic book day I'd try to hit all the local shops. Pissed off my wife because I was driving all the way up to Saratoga.
It's for work.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's terrible.
I'd always get these texts. Where are you? It's 2:00. I'm coming. But anyway, he was always great to kind of take a few. Even though it was one of the busiest days, he would take a couple few minutes, and we'd chat and kind of catch up on what was the thing to read, and then. I also work on the planning committee for the Electric City Comic Con that hosted by the Schenectady Library when they decide to have it and don't use it as a political tool. But one of the organizers asked, she goes, Chad, you're kind of our local contact guy for the shops. He goes, you guys know you might maybe have some comics that they'd be willing to donate to, and so we can give out to the kids for free. I was like, yeah, I mean, and JC was the first one I thought of because I know that I getting to know him, I knew that he was great. He gave us 2 years. He gave us books, and then.
2 years I lugged those books.
I picked them up at the store.
I've got
Lugged,
books
but
multiple times. I've led to lug because I remember having to go there specifically to get cases of books.
Yeah, that sounds right. They're not light.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to
And
it.
it's
I'm
just
already
it's for the kids. It's charity.
Yeah. I'm doing Batman Day orders now, which is like fall.
September, I think.
Yeah.
It usually happens around Baltimore Con.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, no, looking like that, I'm like, oh god, that's gonna be a lot of lugging books, and it's not even anywhere near as big as for Comic Book Day. It's just a a kind of drop in that bucket, but it's still enough to be like,
yeah, people do love free shit.
Yeah.
Those Comic Book Day podcasts were always fucking crazy. Mostly because they would start off with your dad feeding us Patron.
That was the thing
at
too,
like 8:30 in the morning. Yeah,
those were the old days of free Comic Book Days, and those were rough days. They were. I remember getting there at 10 and starting with Patron with him and just not stopping all day. Either that or Tom. When Tom worked there, he would bring in one year he brought a bottle of the Dude, the 3 olives, the Dude, which is just Mountain Dew flavored vodka.
Oh my god!
And we were mixing it with Mountain Dew, and you could not taste it, and it was
sounds deadly.
And you had to quote unquote work too.
Yeah.
I stumbling around filling books, trying.
And not only are you working, but it is the busiest.
Yeah,
day.
it's shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm bumping into people. Sorry.
Little kids, wondering where Batman is.
Yeah.
And all of our recordings were just people asking us questions about stuff in the store.
Yeah,
is
I don't
there a
work
bathroom?
here.
Are these comics free?
I'm doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no care for anything around them. Yeah.
the Patron though, the 1 year I did it with you guys, I remember one of our, I was an auxiliary, honorary, occasional member of the Evil Geeks, and one of the other geeks on the panel was like, "Why does it seem like my voice is so slow?" I'm like, microphones don't speed up or slow down.
Pretty sure that's Patron.
Yeah, and I was like, "We've been here a while already, and the door's still locked."
Yeah.
We tripped over cases of Alpha Flight getting in here through the back.
Pretty sure I've done at least 3 rounds of shots.
Yeah. How many coolers are there back there? Holy
I remember there was one bachelor party that Dad helped me plan, and we all was I don't know, it's probably 8 of us, and we piled into this limo that my dad had found a guy. It wasn't a company. It wasn't
just a guy.
It was a guy who owned a limo. This guy Gino.
Oh, perfect.
He was awesome, and he's exactly what you think he is. Like he's exactly who you'd picture.
When you picture a guy
Exactly,
named
a
Gino.
guy
That
named
could be a
Gino
guy
who's a
named
driver. Yeah,
And his name's Kevin. Ooh.
but we get in a limo, and the bachelor sits next to my dad, and I'm sitting next to the bachelor. And my dad starts pouring shots of Patron and starts passing them to pass down the line in the limo. The bachelor does not put 2 and 2 together that they're for everyone else. And just by the time we had caught him, had hammered like 4 in a row and had just done a 5th. And we were like, whoa. Because like we were all waiting and like looking around like, where's our shot? Where's our shot? And he's like, got 3 little plastic empty cups on his lap. We're like, well, you're supposed to pass him. So that it was bad.
Gino was not pleased with the condition of the interior.
It was Gino.
Let me tell you what a real one Gino is. This bachelor did not last long, surprisingly, at the bachelor party. We found him in the bathroom.
After 4 or 5 shots up.
Yeah, in the span of like 30 seconds. I can't even. I'm getting the mouth sweats thinking about it. Like I'm. But yeah, no, we found him in a casino bathroom, counting his singles for the strip club later.
Did he make it to the strip club?
No, not at all. But we were all married, so we dropped him off, and we yeah. No, we went to a local rest stop. I'm not going to name
Wow,
it.
We went to an establishment.
This story took a turn.
To a local convenience store, and the bachelor went to the bathroom, and he was in there for a good amount of time. And we're like waiting for him. Like one of the other guys in the bachelor party is like flirting with the girl behind the counter, and like, yeah, my brother's so and so in the corporation that we're at. And finally we get the bachelor out, and there's barf everywhere. On the walls, the floor, the mirror. The mirror's broken.
Jesus.
So immediately the next guy goes in and tries to start like kind of clean, but like
Throw some toilet paper.
everybody in our party saw it, and we were like, let's get the fuck out of here.
I need some sawdust.
We dipped, and we get to the limo, and we were all piling in, trying to like get in before they notice and like figure out why we're running out. And they run out and catch us, and they're like, somebody's got to clean this up. And I'm like,
yeah,
somebody does. And I'm the best man. Oh. So I'm like, all right. And the bachelor says, I'll give you, I think it was like $400, because it was all the money that he was counting in the bathroom for the strip club. He was like, I'll give you $400. And the guy and the worker was like, nah, man, you got to clean this up. Which,
damn,
you're dumb.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yoink.
So I'm the best man. So I'm like,
Clean up
fuck.
a murder scene at this point for $400.
I would too.
Get me some gloves.
So I'm like, oh, I guess as the best man, I got to do it. So I go to clean it. I go to like, get out of the limo to clean it up, and Gino opens the door for me, and he doesn't even let me get out of the limo. He goes, we could just leave. And I was like, get in the car. And we just fucking dipped.
There we go.
So like, you should have taken the $400, bro.
Oh my god, that's fucking awesome.
But that's not the first time he's ruined a night with Patron. Like, I've caught him at New York Comic Con, like later in the afternoon after we had split up. We met back up randomly at a like a escalator, and he was like, "Oh, you thirsty?" And yes, because it's New York Comic Con and it's hot and I'm sweaty. I didn't think he was talking like that, and he pulls out a Poland Spring bottle. Like he always does at conventions, and not
stay
thinking,
hydrated though at those conventions.
Yeah, oh yeah, not thinking that it's been on his thigh for the last hour and a half, probably. I mean, really, probably most of the day since he's been like, pouring a little bit in here and there.
Yeah.
I took a good swig and a half, thinking it was water.
Nope.
I didn't
Surprise.
barf, but I was so close. And I'm so surprised still that I didn't. Because the idea of it makes me want to. Like,
I am
like drinking something that you think is not what you think it is bad usually, but when it's liquor and not water, it's so much
when
worse.
it's Patron.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, it's the depth of detail here. It's like as though you took a shot of like tequila hot sake.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was above
Don't
temperature
forget there's
as
some
well. So there was
official West
quite
Virginia
a-
moonshine in your fridge.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, we'll break that up. Yeah.
I nearly brought Patron for tonight, but I was like, I can't.
Me too.
I didn't even think of it. Yeah, we totally should have.
I
We'll do
made the-
moonshine
I was gonna
shots.
say we have moonshine. I'm not really that worried about
I
it.
made up a grown-up decision. Like I literally was next door to the liquor store today, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab a bottle of Patron, and then I'm like, no, because I need to function.
I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even had to stop because we have so many at the store from people bringing them in like
Yeah.
condolences or just like gifts or just dad's stashes around the store. We have like little bottles here and there. There's like a 3/4 fill bottle of some different tequila in the back room just sitting on a shelf.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
It's the store tequila.
Yeah, one of many.
No, I was gonna say it before, buddy. You good?
I just woke up.
Yeah, thank you.
What he's really trying to tell us something about Casamigos versus Patron.
Really,
I know, I was
really
gonna say,
adamant about
I
something.
am
they have cooler owners.
surprised that to this day I have not thrown up in the store.
Well, that was,
I
I think the
have.
first time we recorded in the
Definitely.
store, I was like, hold on. They said I could bring beer and we're in the store. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was just like so weird. Like we're in the comic shop and we're drinking and maybe we're smoking too.
yeah, I know. I was like, dude, what is this doing to the cover?
Yeah.
To this day, it blows my mind that it's fine.
Every day
Like,
it smells
every
like
day-
comics.
Yeah, I'm like, huh. All right. Even like the heavy days of like staff parties and stuff that we've had in there, and it's been like the next day. It there's nothing. I don't understand it.
You know what's amazing too is that your father was a tremendous friend, but also such a savvy businessman, because we never once ended one of the podcasts in the shop without JC cranking the cash register back on, because we were like
Him
we were a
making, like,
little drunk,
$100.
a little stoned, and ready to spend some cash at like 11:30 at night. It's like one of those 80s movies where like the kid, you know, his rich dad pays for them to like run through the toy store
I need
without
this-
anybody else
It's
there.
extra
I
fun
need this
when you're doing it at night.
number, 15 right
Like,
now.
I'm like, oh, Doom Patrol Volume 1, Morrison. I hear it's like the guide to writing.
And not to mention it's also stuff that like we've been sitting like there staring at for like 2 hours.
Like,
Like,
oh,
I need it.
I
want
think
to buy
I do
it.
need that issue.
That
Shit, you're right.
Marco and a lot of action figures, absolutely.
Oh yeah, no. I just every time we do those podcasts, the Patron was just here. Do a shot. Like, oh god.
Yeah, he was heavy-handed with the Patron all the time. He was a fun.
I was gonna say you mentioned the convention before. He was a convention warrior, man. Like, yeah.
That
I always saw him at New York Comic Con, like
Yeah.
just loaded to the gills with
Oh, yeah.
freebies and like.
dude. Oh, that's the other one. Is like once I found him, later in the afternoon when the bottle was more empty,
Yeah.
and he had the Ash vs. Evil Dead foam chainsaw
I
hand.
remember that year I saw him that
And
year.
he was blasted, and he's using it to literally chop his way through the crowd of people. And it's the Javits Center. It's like shoulder.
It's-
And he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
he
it's
doesn't
packed.
give a shit. He's whacking everybody, and they're all moving. So I just walked behind him. It's like following an ambulance.
Oh man, yeah, no, he was there every year. I remember seeing like bumping into him at least once. He was always talking to fucking what's his name, Neil Adams. Always talking to Neil Adams.
Yeah,
for some
he
reason.
loved Neil Adams.
Yeah.
He was a big Neil Adams guy. He also had this habit of whenever I split up from him, he would run into someone huge. Like I one year I left him. We were in Artist Alley together, And this was back when it was the artist alley was in that big airplane hangar
yeah.
size
Yeah.
building on the
Yeah.
right when you would first walk into the Javits Center. I think they knocked it down.
It's gone. It's like an actual like building now. Yeah.
That was great for artist alley. It was
Yeah,
awesome. I
it's
loved it.
perfect.
But in that little like weird kind of hallway walkway there, he ran into Brian Michael Bendis, and somehow Brian recognized him from years prior at other smaller conventions and stuff because they've been in the same business for forever.
Probably gave him Patron at some point.
Yeah.
Take a swig of my water.
Yeah. He's got pictures with him, like selfies with him, where Brian Michael Bendis has like the Earthworld, like the elastic wrist bracelet thing.
Yeah.
He was like 10 minutes from when I saw him. I was like, what? All the time.
Meanwhile, you're talking to Billy the Blue Ranger.
Yeah, not even. I'm like trying to peek over the line to see Billy the Blue Ranger because I'm not going to pay to see Billy the Blue Ranger.
Who voiced Snarf in the Thundercats?
I remember fucking we were. This is back when we would take pictures for the Evil Geeks website when we went to Comic-Con, and we saw Tony Daniels like talking to a little kid when we were all waiting in line. I think we were waiting in line to get a picture with somebody, maybe like, fucking what's his name? John Barrowman, I think is who we were waiting for. And we see Tony Daniels, fucking C-3PO, and like he's coming from his like photo booth and like, oh hey Tony Daniels, like click.
Yeah.
And like, he comes up to us, he's like, you're all here to get a picture with me, right? And like, yeah.
100%. No one else.
Oh yeah, Comic-Con is always home to those weird like shakedown celebrity.
Oh yeah.
Even with my son at the really small cons, when we go down Artist Alley, I'm like, do not make direct eye contact.
Yeah,
Do
you
not.
kind of gotta just
Don't-
like walk almost with a purpose.
There is one
It's
artist.
almost like getting off on Everett Road.
Even if you like something, you,
Last
you
year,
move,
I
you stick
literally
it.
Yeah, it's just taking
figuratively
the Everett
bumped
Road
into
exit.
Dan DiDio.
You know, like not.
Yep.
I got an interview out of it, so
There you go. Shit, I was gonna say something. It's gone now. It's gone.
Whoops.
Yeah. Tony Daniels, weird celebrity shakedowns. It's gone.
I like during our brain trust
Yeah.
shows, he could always provide like the numbers and the
Oh,
Yeah, encyclopedic knowledge, not only of comic books, but also
Yeah,
like
so-
of sales numbers. and, like-
inkers.
yeah.
He could tell you inkers on books that I like. I barely know the artist on. He's like, yeah, he inked it, he lettered it. Like, what? How? How do you have all? I mean, he did it for a very long time, but also he just, he lived it. He lived it and loved it, and he. I don't know how he could retain that much. Like,
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, no, not even like I was saying, not even like artists and inkers and stuff, but like sales knowledge. Like, oh yeah, this sold like X amount of copies. Like, like. Fuck, do you know that?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we're talking shit about some book. He's like, that did really well, for obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
like, this was the number, 2 seller for the month. Or
Just because it sells well doesn't mean
Yeah.
what?
I love that.
Zeb Wells
When I was in the
Spider-Man.
shop last week and you showed me that letter that your dad got after that issue of X-Men was published using a anti-Semitic slur directed towards Sabretooth.
Yeah.
And so the certificate, didn't they bought back the books, right? It went out already or something. And
What
then-
he did was he all of the subscriber books he had pulled before they could go on sale. He pulled everything that could be, and then anything that was sold, he donated the profits to the Anti-Defamation League. Yeah, so we have multiple like letters of that, and like he donated to like local synagogues, and we've got letters from local synagogues and in like Hebrew school classes thanking him for donating, 150 from the sales of this. I think it was the book, but the in-store sales before it was like caught or whatever.
And I remember, the stores has always done kind of fundraisers like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and that was like a big reason why my sister and I decided to do something in his name when he passed, because he had always tried to make Free Comic Book Day, like, because it was such a good day for the store. He also wanted to like share in that kind of.
Yeah, he was always doing something for charity.
Right,
too, yeah.
right. So whether it was one charity or another, it was every year it was usually something different, or we would go back to the same one if we were passionate about a certain thing. But no, we had decided, because my sister does hair and she has kind of a non-traditional work with your hands kind of job. And I had grown up working in restaurants and I went to culinary school and all that, and we decided that for the charity we'll do $1,000 per kid who's going to like a vocational school. So now it's gotten like a little out of hand, and now we have to find like a bunch of kids, but it's a fun problem to have.
I have
Don't
one.
edit that out of context by accident, right?
I have one. How old do
So
they
we
have to
find
be?
a bunch of kids. Oh my god!
We can clip it out.
Are you
I'll
grooming
put it
kids
on our
at that
Instagram? It's fine. Comic shop gate.
Yeah. There's kids in the basement.
Did we ever have a show about Comics Gate? Because I'm sure that he would have.
I don't think we did.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we did.
He didn't even really worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Just because he was like, they're not gonna, like, ultimately nothing really affected. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have a big effect on sales. They were just online assholes, really. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
your dad
really...
was always good about having like ladies' nights at the store too. He had a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Fangirl night.
That's what it was.
Night.
Yeah, fangirl ladies.
Yeah, it was 2-for-1 Bud Lights back when you could say that.
That's what I meant. It's fangirl nights.
Yeah, I remember working those in the, like, we would we would stand outside and make sure no guys would come in, because we couldn't really lock people in.
Yeah,
That many people into the store. But
There's laws, too.
especially on Central. But we also didn't want to let any dummy in who wanted to buy books. But we did a lot of fangirl nights, and it was very cool for a lot of them.
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I honestly I can't remember most of the podcasts that we did there. Probably because we were drinking the whole time.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I remember the night everybody ganged up on me in the Marvel vs. DC debate. Yeah.
Wait, I don't remember that. What?
That was like,
I don't think I was there either.
What were you siding with?
I was like the only
Hold
one out
on,
there
sir.
defending Marvel. It was like Nick. I want to say it was like Tom Stevens might have been there.
At the shop? I don't. Yeah,
It was at the
wasn't
shop.
at this one. Okay. Let's think.
I don't know if Gleason was there, but like everybody was just like, it was basically just to piss me off. Basically, is why it was. But yeah, I lost that one.
I would have flown the flag alongside you. Like when I got back into comics, like I started with Saga, as per your dad's recommendation, and then I came back like a few days later. I'm like, all right, load me up, JC. Like, what do I need to be reading? And so I read. Why am I blanking on who was writing Batman at that time? It was just around Death in the Family.
Oh, Scott Snyder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Death of the Family or Death in the Family?
But it was Snyder's run.
I'm
right?
thinking of time wise.
But-
I'm thinking of Death in the Family because we just got it today.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like, it's like fresh in my head. Yeah.
But and then some Marvel books. I really dug when the young X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the initial run of that storyline.
It was Astonishing X-Men.
It was like it went back and forth between issues, 2 separate titles. Like 1 week it was. Anyway, I thought Marvel was really doing something interesting, and DC was actually starting to bore me, with the exception of individual books like Snyder's Batman. You barely know that he exists in the same universe as the Justice League in that run. There's not a lot of
Yeah. That was a good time for Batman. I remember that.
Till the end.
Yeah.
And then
Till
that
it was
kinda
mech
sucked.
suit,
And then DC had to reboot in 5.
vaping Gordon Batman.
Like when Gordon got jacked.
That's right. Oh man. I've definitely bought some like key issues at the store from your dad over the years. Death of Captain America, I remember that. I have like I think he like pointed out like, hey, there's a variant, like, grab
Yep.
that one. So I have the I think it's the
Marvel
Dexter.
does variants.
Yeah, believe it or not, 1 or 2 for every issue.
Twist the knife, why don't
Yeah.
you?
But I ended up getting that signed. It was the Dexter Vines cover, I think, which I got signed by Dexter Vines. I think I got it signed by who wrote that? I don't remember. Mike Epting was like the artist in the interior. I got him to sign it also. Steve Epting, not Mike Epting. Mike Epting I went to high school with.
I remember him getting tater tots daily.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I think it's not the same guy.
Yeah.
This guy didn't even doodle on his notebook. What?
I bought the Amazing Spider-Man September 11th issue
Yep.
there. Oh man, I'm sure.
So you were fooled by the media too?
Yeah. Your dad sold me the first gift I ever bought Amanda.
I think you recently told me this. Right?
Yeah, it was a copy of Mad Love.
That's what I thought. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I thought.
I remember him saying like, "Oh,
Harley.
she must be a special girl."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was always. His fun was like finding their hook,
Yeah.
and that's been like the most fun of like making the best of this shitty situation. Has been like, kind of doing the same thing. Like, what can I?
There's personal touches.
Like what can I find you specifically that you'll like or you'll be into? And it's been super fun. Like selling a ton of weird shit. Like relatively weird shit, but selling a ton of Mark Russell stuff that we weren't selling as much before.
Oh,
Nice.
Just because
Mark Russell's
Flintstones
awesome.
and Snagglepuss are so good that I push them on like everyone I see because it's
Please tell me are you at least selling Traveling to Mars?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I
Yeah.
taught Snagglepuss in my writing class.
It's great.
When the trade came out, I totally did.
It's
That's
funny
awesome.
because I found, once I took over, we had this guy Justin working there, and once I got there and he like figured out who I was, he was like, "Oh, you sold me Snagglepuss one free comic book day like 5 years ago." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds right." I don't remember that because of Patron, probably, but which makes sense for that, especially that day. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun telling fun weird stuff. So just finding people's, even if you don't, necessarily like a superhero or whatever, it's easy to find.
There's something for everybody.
Right,
You can
right.
find it.
Well, on my pull list, right, in terms of stuff that I don't have on my literal pull list, I had to write down the King Diamond bio comic that came out this week. I'm like, oh, I must fucking own this book. Right? So I got to get my ass over to the shop.
I ordered that, and I was like, even if it doesn't sell, I'll buy it because it's.
How many copies?
We'll fight you for it right now on this podcast.
No, I think we got like 2, so it's not. I think you might be fighting Alicia for it.
Oh, well,
So like,
if there's
you
2,
know, like-
then we're okay. Yeah,
right.
unless there's variants with like.
There's the die cast chrome holograph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with King Diamond's blood in the in the ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A la Kiss.
Before he was in Motorhead, PD was the drummer for King Diamond, which is true.
Oh man, you've mentioned like some of the weird stuff about the store. Like, what's been like we've talked about this before. Like, just the craziness of untangling like of the weird systems basically that your dad had in place, like for no other reason than just that's the way he did it. Like,
Oh well, everything, but I mean, like just top to bottom. But I mean, just his storage system alone was mind-boggling. Like underneath the microwave, I found 15 pages of original art.
just prop it up in a microwave.
Yeah. One of which will be in a Get What You Get gumball machine at the comic shop soon. That one's a Hebert Punisher War
You were
Journal.
showing it to us the other day.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, there was a like Power Man page from John Byrne, and on the back of it was the preliminary like sketch design for Guardian from Alpha Flight,
Yeah,
which came out like a couple years later. I'm like, this was under the microwave? This is like history. What are we doing?
Does it have wing sauce on it?
Yeah, like I'm so shocked there's not like New England clam chowder spilled in there from like Dad's
hot sandwich from
Progresso.
Stewart's.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
like he got like a
Blew up
can
in
of
the-
Progresso from Stewart's and spilled it.
Pretty sure I've told this story like back in the day on Evil Geeks podcast, but it's because you just mentioned John Hebert and you just mentioned wing sauce. To this day, fucking Evil Geeks Nick holds a grudge against John Hebert.
He's one of many.
Yeah, because when we were kids, we bought prints. This is how old this is. Like, we were buying prints from his work on X-Men Adventures, which was the comic book adaptation of the X-Men cartoon from the 90s.
Yep.
And like while he was like signing our prints, he was eating a meatball sandwich, and like he got sauce on Nick's print.
That sounds right for John.
I told that to Hebert one day when we were drunk. He said the same thing. He's like, "That sounds like
Yeah, like that tracks.
Oh my God.
Listen, I love John. John is a great friend.
Yeah.
But John was a loose cannon for a long time. There are stories of conventions past of ponytails cut
No shit.
and faces pied. Stories that I've only heard secondhand, so I can't attest to any truthfulness. But yeah, he fill him with enough Patron, Hebert will have some fun.
This was at a convention. We were at Super Mega Fest, which like. If you've never been to that convention, the convention is just an afterthought. Basically, everybody's there for
Like the name,
Yeah.
Super Mega Fest.
It's even the most generic sounding name.
Are you
But, like-
sure it's not a front for like a Russian spy organization?
I have never gone to this convention
This sounds American, right?
and not ended up
yes,
drinking
comrades.
like
Mega.
getting shithouse drunk with like a C-list celebrity. Like, the one night in question, we were drinking. It was me. It was John Hebert. I think Doug Arthur was with us too, and I think Doug like pieced out because like that's totally not his scene. Like, yeah,
it doesn't sound like that.
yeah. And like a couple other folks, and like we were in the hotel lobby. We were like, our Super Mega Fest strategy every year was to just get a case of beer and sit in the hotel lobby.
Sounds fake.
Yeah,
Super Mega
Sounds
Fest
like he's-
strategy.
yeah.
It sounds like he's trying to like hide the names. Of the
No, it's
innocent.
real. I swear it's real. This really happened.
You guys, shut up.
Yeah.
I didn't dream it.
we just
I think.
we would just get a. Let me choke. We would just get a case of beer and just sit in the lobby and just wait for something to happen, like wait for the party to happen. So we're like, we're sitting around this big round table, and like, we're right outside the hotel bar, and out of the hotel bar comes stumbling. I won't blow up his spot. It was one of the Red Rangers, though, from the Power Rangers. I won't say which one, but like, I mean, like visibly like wobbling, and like, I think he was like leaning on our table, and I'm like, dude, do you need to sit down for a little while? He's like, yeah. So like,
Yeah, bro, it's
yeah.
morphin' time.
You know the one.
Yeah,
It's always
You
the
know.
Green Ranger.
yeah. He's trouble.
Hippie.
So this one like cosplay, most likely porn girl who was always at this con, like came around our table. She invited us to this party, and like it was up in the hotel. We're like, all right,
I'm listening.
yeah, like fuck it, we'll go.
This is the
Well,
this is the mega part.
My ensemble is like John Hebert, and fucking like, a stumbling Red Ranger, and assorted other like drunken nerds.
And they decided to
Murderers.
form Voltron. And
Yeah,
Murderers Row. Pussy crushers.
So we're in this hotel room, and I remember this is just one of those weird like convention stories, like only in a fucking convention, right? Like, so we're in this party, and fucking Red Ranger is trashed. Donner doesn't like when I badmouth the Power Rangers. Buddy.
It's like, I was always Blue Ranger guy.
Yeah.
I never bullied him.
So, like, John starts telling one of his wild, like, Marvel stories, like, back in the day.
When he gets going, too, he's like, and I have video of him on my phone. This is just like him, and I'll show it to you later. It's him, like, cutting a wrestling promo on a friend of ours. You guys probably know him. You might know him. And it's so good. Like, if you give John...
He's always posing with, like, belts and shit on Facebook.
Yeah, right. Like, he's already a wrestler in his head.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, if you give him a platform, he will deliver. Like, he gets on a mic and is, like, pretending he's, like,
I tried to get him on the podcast back in the day because I knew he'd go off and, like, he wasn't going for it.
Do you need him? I could get him in a heartbeat. I'll get him in a heartbeat with a bottle of Patron, and it'll be the best night. I'll tell you about every ponytail and everything.
But yeah, like, as he's going off on his Marvel story, like the whole party is distracted. What we don't see is the Red Ranger's manager, like comes storming into the room.
The Colonel.
Yeah, Colonel fucking Zordon.
Somebody run behind.
Yeah, like he physically grabs the Red Ranger and drags him out of the room. And I just remember, like, we all turn around and he was just gone. Like where the fuck did he go?
Oh, that was so Scott Weiland, 1994.
And like somebody was coming out of the bathroom as that was happening, and they told us what happened. Like, oh my god,
He was the coolest one in our party. Fuck.
yeah.
John's looking at everybody like, you guys, I'm fucking out of here. You guys are losers.
Who's left? One of the live-action turtles, but not from the original trilogy.
He was only
April
in
O'Neil, number 7.
He was only the guy in the costume for the fight scenes.
I got shit house drunk with an 80s fucking movie star and fucking.
That's the fun of small cons.
Yeah, there's a picture. I've talked about this before. I'm not again. I won't blow up their spot, fucking, because they're on something right now that's very popular.
Heroin?
Speed.
But there's a picture that
Ecstasy.
exists
Ozempic.
that I call a picture of two people having the worst moment of their life for separate reasons, right? It's me and this person, and fucking the whole night I'm trashed. My case of beer strategy paid off.
Super mega.
What I also did at this convention was I would hide beers around the con. This is what I learned in college. My friend, Evil Geeks Nick, taught me how to do this. If you go to a convention, like if you go to a party and like you think the beer is going to run out, start hiding beer around the party, so you'll always have beer at the party.
I do that when I snowblow in the winter. When it's real bad, we get a couple feet, I'll get like 4 tall boys and just periodically park like 4 of them on the snowblowing route because I have like a bigger size yard. So I'll like, by the end of it, I'm like barely able to get the snowblower back into the garage. But
so yeah, like fucking, this is how I ended up like in this, like hanging out with this person. They were standing by one of my beer stashes. So like it was I hid beer in
like
a
a
plant. It was a big giant like potted plant.
Beer in a plate.
Yeah.
Note
I
to
hissed
self.
at him and I
So
scratched
I'm
him.
at
Like,
Super
"Oh."
Mega Fest, and I'm hiding beer in
This
plants.
is all real. I swear I have witnesses. So I walk up to the plant and like he was talking to somebody. I'm like, pardon me for a second, guys. I reach in, pull out a beer, open it. I'm like, have a good night. And fucking they're like, oh my god.
Just off into the night
Yeah.
Like sounds like you're in a beer commercial.
like a drunk
Yeah.
Batman.
But anyway, like long fucking story short. At the end of the night, we were all going back to hang out in a room of this Playboy Playmate who was like, I can't tell that part of the story.
1968.
Yeah. Anyway, no.
Yeah, he poured her an Ensure and she went
So
to bed.
I am trashed at this point because I've been drinking hidden beers all night at this convention that I assure you is real.
Right, the
Mega
Super Mega
convention.
Con with the hidden beers in the right.
Sure.
So I like
Check the plant, you'll be
I am-
pleasantly
yeah.
surprised. Oh my god.
Sure, it was weird. I had to get my keys out of a fishbowl at the end of the night. I don't remember that part of that convention. But...
Well, no, before I left where I hid the beers, I started like collecting them. So I was wearing cargo shorts, and my shorts are filled with
Like,
beer.
I brought them. I'm not fucking
Yeah.
leaving them.
So they send me down to the bar to go get the person, the actor, and like go back to the room. So as like I'm like, hey, I'm like, she told us to go back to her room. Like, whenever you're ready, man, let's just go up. He's like, all right, let me finish my drink. We'll go. And I'm standing there, and like I start to feel sick. I'm like, I feel really sick. I start taking beers out of my pockets. I'm lining beers up out of the bar. And like I am just fucking ill. He's still fucking just drinking and bullshitting. He's finally ready to go. We're going back up to the elevators. There's a bachelor party in the hotel also at the same time as the con. He is recognizable. They all recognize him as an 80s star. They all freak the fuck out. They're all wearing like these boxing like satin robes.
Oh God.
So they're like, you gotta take a picture with us, you gotta take a picture, and he's just like, I don't want to. Like,
nightmare.
they just pull him into it, and and the whole time this is going on, I'm getting fucking sicker and sicker and sicker. Yeah.
Boy.
So they take a picture of I don't know how we got a picture of this, but the bachelor party takes a picture.
Pictures always come out of bachelor parties.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want them to.
And like the main focus of the picture is the guys from the bachelor party all hanging around with 80 Star in these fucking robes, in these satin boxing robes. 80 Star just in the middle of the picture looking fucking miserable.
I feel so bad for Chachi.
Yeah, and then in the background, way in the background, you see me sitting on like this brick wall like, in front of the elevators, just
Purple
like,
faced, trying to be awake. Just
So since there's no video right now,
yeah.
should we just start tossing names out and you can shake your head yes or no? And he's like I'll start. Ready? C. Thomas Howell, Anthony Michael Hall.
was it Scott Baio?
Was it Willie Ames? That would have been
No. I will say, like,
Eric Estrada.
looks-wise, you're close.
Eric Estrada.
Ooh, no. I can't verbally. Oh. Well, we're all going to think, like...
Can you give us genre? Or most known
80s classics, featuring kids from New Jersey who moved to California. And
Ralph Macchio. No. Oh, what's his face? Johnny. Billy Zabka.
It definitely wasn't Billy Zabka.
No. Definitely not. It was
Gotcha.
This was the Japanese guy from the second movie.
It was Mr. Miyagi, guys. Yeah.
Right. May he rest in peace.
Pat Maria
It
really
was
fucked
the
around.
girl from
R.I.P.
Karate.
Arnold.
That was really
Arnold.
Swink, wasn't it?
Marina really fucked around.
I love that. On Happy Days, right? In the first several seasons, he owned Arnold. The burger joint.
He was Arnold.
Yeah, he was Arnold.
Anyway, real things back in.
What's the saddest you've seen a convention guest? Like
That was up there.
No. Not as far as that goes. You've
Yeah.
seen them personally, like no one's coming to my table.
Oh, it was the Empire State Con.
Bingo.
Yes. Yep.
And
The whole con?
Well,
no,
I never even got to go
No.
to that when I heard.
his table should have been full because it was Denny O'Neil.
Right.
Oh, shit.
And nobody
Nobody.
was
What
there.
the
Yep. And he was by the escalator. Like he was.
Yeah, he was like right as you
there
walked
when
in.
you walked in.
And so I got to sit down and have a nice 15-minute interview with him.
That's pretty great, though.
I thought you were going to say Dave Elfson, who was back in Megadeth on bass at that point. And I'm like, why are you here?
Why are you
Like,
across
you
from
wrote
this
a-
booth selling insurance?
Like,
And this
right?
other one selling
You're
seamless gutters?
literally here to sell autographs and copies of your book that I didn't know about how like you found Jesus.
Tom Savini at Fanicon was it? Fanicon?
I wasn't at the one he was at.
That
I was
He
at the-
wasn't happy.
I was at the disaster one, the one that nobody came to.
the Firefly.
He would have been even less happy with that one, but he was not happy for whichever one we were at. Which we like met him and we got pictures for the shop and everything, but he was like, he talked to us and hung out for a while, but like you could tell he was like bummed that like more people weren't coming to his table. I'm like,
Fucking Mr. Strickland.
I'm with
from
you,
Back
dude.
to
Like
the
I like
Future
it.
stormed out of that con like halfway through the second day.
Really?
I mean, he might have even come to the second day. Like he was pissed. Somebody else stormed out
I
too.
would have paid him to say, "God damn it, Maverick!" Thank you.
Yeah.
What's
That was
going
a
on for
disaster.
Fandom Fest?
They have a silent disco, guys.
Is that what's happening?
I whatever. I'm trying to read whatever, more comics.
Are you guys doing it?
No. I don't think we're in their good graces.
No.
They're the same people who did. Aren't they the same people who did Empire?
I think it's just Proctor's.
Is it really?
I think it's
Are you
just
talking
Proctor's.
about
FanFest?
FanFest, yes, it's just
Oh.
Proctor's.
It's just Proctor's.
for some reason I
doing it.
thought
think
it was
it's
also reality,
strictly
yeah.
Proctor's running it.
Yeah, it is.
How many of their guests are going to bail this year at the last minute?
I don't know. I will be bummed if they do because they have Keith David coming.
Well, he bailed last year at the last minute.
I know.
My money
And
is
I'm
on
like,
Alan
if we can get Keith
Turduck,
David again.
bailing.
Yeah, because they have that. They have him and Summer Glau, maybe.
Yeah. Which are good.
But basically,
awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool
I
Firefly
interviewed the
reunion.
last year when it was the first year, and the guy goes, "Yeah, I'm just inviting people I like or I want to meet." It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and also the actors are on strike, so they're allowed to do cons, but some of them may choose not to.
Right.
Solidarity with all striking.
Well, the Red Rangers will not talk.
They will stumble at home safely.
I was at a convention around here where the owner was sued by a veritable Zordon of Power Rangers after the convention was over.
Wow.
Oh, it's a shame that San Diego this year's having to focus on comics.
Actual comics. Yeah.
We were talking about that before.
We were just talking about the horrible struggle it must be having no entertainment and having to use actual comics for your comic
These
convention.
are things that you read.
Yeah, the things they make into your movies and shows.
I hope this shit gets wrapped up by the fall because I'm supposed to interview Eric Roberts.
I hope it's wrapped up before New York Comic Con because that's the only reason why I go is for the press junkets.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, what's New York going to be like? It would be nice if that was like a Comic Con again, like, because that is definitely a media. Like,
I haven't been in. I haven't been since Artist Alley. Oh no, I went when the old Artist Alley was gone. When it was down, the Artist Alley was kind of downstairs.
Yeah.
On the left-ish side, if you're looking in from the front of the Javits, I think that's where it was. But yeah, it was too tight down there. But I haven't been there in, I don't know, probably
Was last year the first time?
7 years, 5, 6 years.
Oh, I didn't. Well, they obviously didn't have the 2021.
Yeah, so yeah, last year was the first time.
2021 was it was like reduced. I didn't go either, and then last year is my first year back.
First con I ever went to was 1987 in the fall at the Plaza Hotel in New York City.
I've heard about those conventions. I heard those are like classic comic conventions.
It was all about comics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like different things. Like they'd have certain certain ballrooms where the doors would be shut, and then like they'd make an announcement like in like ballroom C, like all books are $1, and you go in there and there's just like thousands of comics in this room, and everybody is just flipping through trying to find, and there's definitely gold in them hills.
Yeah.
But then but it's only open for like 20 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, but it was like they're like
I think that,
no one's no cosplay or anything. It was just people who wanted to read comics, going batshit crazy buying comics.
yeah, I think the earliest convention I can remember, at least remember going to, like Dad brought me to, a ton. Just as like,
I was gonna say it had to have always been a thing.
it was a lot of like he can lift this. Come on, you're coming with me. Or even just like, didn't have like childcare for the day, so you're coming with me. But there was one at like a Howard Johnson, and it was all comics, and there were like 3 guests, and they were Next Generation cast members. But that was it. So it was like still pretty strictly comics, and like the biggest stars were like the biggest stars of sci-fi at the time. So like cool. But I don't remember when it transitioned to like the chaos of like movie announcement. This is what we're lining up for our cinematic studios for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Like I don't. That was I don't remember that transition. I don't remember the year where
We're
it was
going to
like-
do Superman, his origin, and it's going to be Lex Luthor, real estate scheme.
I personally would like to see the Waynes get shot again.
Yeah. I don't know how either of those guys. How do these Superman and Batman fellas become superheroes? I don't know
really
that
need
story.
to
I'm
see
still a
some
little
more
hazy over
pearls
what
and
happened on
alleys.
that night.
Yeah.
Who is this Uncle Ben character I hear all this about?
The rice guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing we need is more pearls and alleys. That's enough. We get it.
Oh man.
I mean,
Unless
I think I've seen the Waynes get shot more than I've seen like a fictional reenactment of Lincoln's assassination
I keep
or
thinking
Kennedy.
I keep thinking you're saying Wayans. And I'm thinking of when they were going to have Robin Wayans as Robin.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No.
man, that would be fucking funny. Huh?
Was it fucking not Marlon? No, it was Marlon Wayans.
Was it Marlon?
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. That would have been awesome. Well, that was the same one that would have had like Robin Williams as Riddler, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
That would have been fucking weird.
a Snyderverse fan's wet dream.
Wasn't there a Courtney Love Harley?
Oh,
Ty
God,
at
I
one
hope
point?
not.
Like there was
Right.
I think it was like talk. Like it would never like it was
90s
like
were
a
crazy man.
Ugh.
Oh wow. What I'm trying to like, I'm desperately trying to rope us back into the topic of Earthworld, and you.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
We're having a good time. We're talking comics.
Yeah, but you know what? It's very reminiscent of doing one of these with your dad because
We just
Just
sometime, well, he'd start going. He's like, "Well, that was like there was this run by so and so on, so that just started
Yeah,
really
yeah.
dramatically shift." But that was before, you know, and like all of a sudden, it's like 27 minutes later, and it's like
How'd that happen?
we're tracing this timeline. Like, how did
Where did we
here?
get here?
Apparently,
Right.
Courtney Love was supposed to play Harley
Really?
Quinn.
Oh, I was hoping I was wrong on that one. Actually, was that this? I think there were a couple other like almost castings for that movie.
Yeah,
Weird.
was it? Yeah.
There's Billy D.
Well,
Two-Face,
Billy
right?
D was Two-Face, yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he was.
I would have been into that because they just
Yeah.
would
Oh, that would've been
continue.
cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just continue Harvey Dent because he already was.
Let's all listen to me drink that fine Utica Club.
You see?
Yeah. Oh man. I'm still trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. These podcasts, like, they definitely won't be the same without him around for sure. Like, not to like bring everything down.
No,
But yeah,
no, it's cool. I appreciate it.
yeah, no, the man was a
I
fountain
mean,
of knowledge. Like,
I mean, there was some trouble a few summers ago in the neighborhood, there was some trouble in many neighborhoods in many cities across the country, and there was some, there were some voluntary merchants along Central Avenue who gave out all of their stuff for free, and when they came, they took out, like, people helped themselves at the liquor store or the Dollar General. They got to Earthworld, and then they just kept moving. Like,
I think they figured it already. They looked in and
Yeah,
they were
they're
like,
like,
"Oh, they already got it."
yeah.
All the Rob Liefeld books are
It
gone.
looks like, yeah, there's no barrel-chested cap. I'm fucking
Yeah.
out of here.
fuck this.
Screw this. There's no money here. Yeah.
I'm really into feet.
My favorite Star Wars figures were those 90s ones where everybody was jacked. Right? Like, whoa. That's not Luke Skywalker. That's He-Man on Halloween. Dressed as Luke Skywalker.
His hair was just all wind tussled. Like, yeah.
Cool costume, He-Man. Yes, I am Luke Skywalker from the Star Wars.
Sure you are. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Just smacked into my microphone. That's professionalism right there, folks.
It's also a euphemism.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. This might be a good place to wrap it up. Then we're kind of just like zoning out.
Before we light other things.
Yes.
Anything else?
We'll do a shot once the mic's off because I'm not gonna futz around. Get all that shit out now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have I forget we have the moonshine too. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's gonna get crazy.
I mean, you don't have to finish it if you would just like to sample it.
I'll definitely just sample. Like,
Oh, I'll be sampling.
yeah.
Sampling will happen.
I have to do an early show tomorrow, which we're doing.
Oh yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, Bloody Mary's on.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'll be getting
That's not
wasted
so-
in just a few hours after I.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Bloody Marys are fun.
But all kinds of shit too. I got fucking like beef sticks. I got cheeses. I got fucking pickled vegetables. Yeah.
That's fun as shit.
Yeah.
When you can pick and make your own, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Nobody fill the space or anything. I'll just
No,
Dead air. It's great.
I was my brain was
People like that, right?
what do you follow up?
Yeah,
pickled
right.
vegetables. It's gonna be like
great.
that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
interesting. That's interesting.
Cheese, you say?
Oh, you drinking in the morning? Must be nice. I gotta be a parent in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta parent this podcast and streaming show. Hard day. Might take a nap after that. I
And
don't
this
know.
liver and kidneys.
Yeah. I would like to go see Oppenheimer.
I haven't seen a movie in so long.
Oh no shit.
I tried to take my son to Spider-Verse, and then I found out it was like 2.5 hours, and I was like, he's never gonna make it.
Oh,
It was
I made at least 5 trips to the bathroom with my son.
Yeah,
during Spider-Man.
yeah. I was like, I'll
There's
go and
gaps.
see it on my own, and then I've just been so busy with the shop, I haven't had time to. Like if I go after work, I'm falling asleep in the theater for sure.
Yeah.
Once it's dark,
Once I get home, the chances of me leaving again.
oh
Almost,
yeah, that too. Yeah, it has to be like straight from work or like a day off, like middle of the day, like planned kind of like thing. Otherwise, I don't stand a chance. Fall
I
asleep.
will go on Thursday nights because I work from home. We're totally way off topic now. Let's wrap this up, and then we'll fucking talk about when we go see movies.
People don't like that.
This is where the discussion usually ended anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, no. The brain trust is forever changed. We will forever be grateful for the time we got to spend with your dad and the days we got to record. Will always be an incredible memory for me. I
And
want to speak for you guys. but-
and also creating the Albany comics community and
yeah.
community in general, I guess.
Yeah, that's really been the coolest thing. Has been hearing everyone's stories about how he's kind of been their either like father figure or like shepherd into like this comic or that comic or like he got me into this, he got me into that, he got me writing for this company, he got me whatever for that company, and it was like, oh shit, he's more than just my dad and the owner of the shop, which I knew he was the owner of the shop, but like I didn't know he had
He's just
impacted that many people that deeply.
his key, figure in the community.
It's been really cool.
I don't know if I told you this story, but I think you'll appreciate it because it is very much your dad. One of our Big Dumb Monsters listeners reached out to me, and he was like, I heard about JC. He's like, he actually worked at Earthworld back in the day, and he's like, I love JC, but I will never forgive him for this. He taught my first landlord how to pick the lock to my apartment. Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. Dad had a lot of
I'll give a shout out to Will Syath, our listener. Sorry, I didn't mean to...
Yeah, no. Dad had a lot of old school jobs before owning the comic shop, where he was like a detective for a large department store chain.
Was he really?
And he was very good at catching shoplifters, so he was like very like vigilant at the shop normally, but there were stories of him like clotheslining guys like as they were running down an alley, like him just putting his arm out and clotheslining a guy while he was like having a smoke.
That's amazing.
So he
I want to see this movie.
it's wild.
Street vengeance.
Yeah, I picture like just your dad, 70s, like same glasses,
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
sunglasses.
I've got the ID badge. It's fantastic, and I have
There
his.
had to be mutton chops involved.
I have no. It was always beard. Always a beard.
Then music playing in the background. It's like don don.
I have his old glasses frames, and I'm gonna get my prescription put in them because they're so awesome. They're like big old, like tinted blue. Like fuck yeah, I'm doing those.
It's like some Elvis Vegas.
Yeah, they're big. They're great.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, no, this is not the end of the Brain Trust. We'll definitely find occasion to meet and talk again, guys. This was good.
Yeah,
This was good.
you're always welcome at the shop too. Like if you ever
We'll
feel like
figure out a way to
lugging
do it
all
mobile,
this
yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff. But even if you don't, you don't want to make it to the shop, we do whatever.
Yeah, we're always welcome to do it here. You guys are always welcome. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, well, let me wrap this up. I don't even know how to outro this. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, it's not Big Dumb Monsters. It's a special podcast. It's a harkening back to the Brain Trust.
On a special episode.
Very special. Yeah.
Show me on this doll where you got.
One of us is going to get molested after the mic's gone.
Show me on the Jim Lee comic.
Don't make any promises.
They touched my special no place.
But thanks for listening, everybody.